that's what happens, I'm afraid. So, hello, welcome to ESL Drama, and here we are with Ali and a very strange-looking shiny, but it's perfect for Halloween. Okay, so guys, if you're going to change outfits, the best thing to do is to do them before a session, way before a session, if you've got a bad connection. I mean, really, it's not going to work otherwise, but that's life, okay? Um, it will take your avatar a long time to re-res for everyone else, but that's life. At least you're a furry now, shiny, so it's not as dangerous as when you're in your birthday suit. Oh, it looks as if Vinay's joining us, so let me just send Vinay a teleport. Okay, we'll wait for him. Now, next week is Halloween, of course, and so this week we're going to be doing a little role play, which is based on a Friends episode about a Halloween party and being invited, because of course it's not Halloween yet, but people will be planning their parties and sending out invitations. Okay, so to invite someone or to send someone an invitation. Okay, let's warm up a little bit. Shiny, you're probably okay because you were in the session earlier, but it's always a good idea just to get your brain into English mode. So Ali, what kind of things do you think we invite people to? When do we send invitations? Halloween parties, that's one. What other things do you think?
Um, like, if I talk about my own culture, right?
Yes, yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
yes, for marriages, for um, what else? For conferences, for birthday parties,
Yeah.
and for dinner, right? For family dinner, and there are a lot more other
Sorry,
things as well, right?
I didn't catch that. Family
Yes, family dinners.
dinners, yes, to dinners. Sort of formal dinners, yeah. I mean, I don't send an invitation to my husband for dinner. I just go,
Not your
dinner's ready.
family. You can't even do that if there is something wrong.
That would be quite good fun, wouldn't it? You have been cordially invited to dinner.
Like you can do it, like keeping that uh, like being sarcastic. You can do it. Like
You can do,
hello,
yes.
I don't know what this is saying, but you can say it like oh, like dinner is ready. You are invited, and like that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, that would be probably best not to. Okay. Hi Vinay. How are you? Have you got voice? Can you hear us? Can we hear you? You can't hear everyone. No, we're not speaking at the moment. Can you hear me now? Oh, you can't hear me. Okay. Ah, so can you hear me now?
Yep.
Hi. Okay, good. Vinay, can you hear us? Can we hear you?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Have you got the note card?
Sorry?
Okay, no. You just answered me. I'll send it to you, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so this is the note card of the text we're going to be reading from. And it's an extract from one of my favourite TV programmes, The Big Bang Theory. I sort of modified it a little bit. And the scene is set in the lobby. Now, we talked about lobby, hallway, everything, corridor last week. So if you want to catch up on that vocabulary, have a look on the YouTube channel. You'll find it under ESL Drama from last week. I think it's live. But anyway, we're actually in the lobby now of the apartment building here. Okay? So that's where we're going to set our little drama. Now, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 characters. So we'll have to double up a bit. Okay? There's 4 of us. April can't come. She's babysitting her grandchild again. So I think it's quite difficult for her to be in world and do it. It's okay sitting just doing a session like Google Hangouts, but where it requires both hands to move around, etc., it's a little difficult. Okay. Now, do you all know the Big Bang Theory? Do you know the characters?
At least I don't.
Ah, welcome. Oh, okay. What about you, Ali? Have you heard of the Big Bang Theory?
That's what I said. I mean, it was not Vinay. It was I.
Oh, sorry.
I said that.
Vinay,
It's
what
okay.
about you? Have you heard of it though? You've never heard of it, or?
What about the Big Bang Theory?
Yeah, the TV series.
Yeah, I have heard about the Big Bang Theory. It's I think, the origin of universe, related to origin of universe.
It's basically a comedy, an American comedy.
Oh, well, I heard about,
You
I
know
heard
about
about the
real
name,
one.
but no.
No, that's absolutely fine, Vinay. Okay, so there is something called the Big Bang Theory, and if you're a physicist, then your brain automatically thinks about the scientific Big Bang Theory. The way, how the universe began, okay? But something has replaced the Big Bang Theory in people's minds, especially in the West, in the UK and in America, and it's a TV series, which seems a bit wrong somehow. But anyway, it's a TV series about a group of scientists. It's very funny. If you've never watched it, there's lots of clips. There are lots of clips on YouTube, and I do recommend it because it's highly amusing. Okay. So the real Big Bang Theory is the idea that the universe began. It all started with a big bang, so to speak. So as a scientific theory, then yes, we have the Big Bang Theory, which is the earliest time that we've been able to identify of the universe we're living in. Okay, you could read about the Big Bang, of course, on Wikipedia, but for the uninitiated amongst you, the Big Bang Theory TV show is also on Wikipedia. And if you've never seen it, you've got such a treat in store, because I think there are 11 seasons. We're on season 11 now, I think. 11 or 12, I can't remember. And you can watch them all. Okay, so this little drama is an extract from the Big Bang Theory, and the characters are all scientists, apart from the character called Penny, who's a very attractive young lady who's moved into the apartment block. Okay, so Howard, Raj, Sheldon and Leonard are scientists. They're geeks. Even they would agree that they are geeks. Okay, you know what I mean by geek. A geek. Nope. Vinay, do you know what a geek is? I'm a bit of a geek.
I've heard it, but I'm not like.
You're not
Getting
sure
it,
what it
okay.
means? Okay.
Okay.
Well, if you're a geek or if you're a bit geeky, it's slang. Okay, and it means an expert, often to do with computers or science. So you can be a computer geek.
They are normally said that computer geek, right?
That's it, yeah. Or a science geek, or a maths geek. A lot of people use it as an insult. I actually find it's fine. I don't mind people calling me a geek. It means that you're.
But what actually is it? Is it an insult or, or a compliment?
What do you mean? What is it?
Like for example, if someone is saying that you are a geek, right? So what is it? Should I take it as a compliment or as an insult?
Always take things as a compliment. Say thank you. When people say I'm mad, I say thank you. I'd hate to be sane. If it meant being like you. I always take everything as a compliment. People can try to insult me. It's very difficult to insult me, especially online when people don't really know me. I'm like, yeah, whatever. It depends how it's said. If I say to my husband, "Oh, you are such a geek," he knows I'm not insulting him. I'm just making a bit of fun. Yeah, just making fun of him a bit. If somebody goes geek in Vikings or something, then I know they're trying to insult me. I just refuse to take the bait. Now, in the UK, we also have two other words, an anorak. And an anorak is also a name for a geek. It's a piece of clothing that you usually wear when it's raining. Put your anorak on, it's raining. But if you call someone an anorak, you're calling them a geek. I guess because the kids who went to school wearing an anorak tended to be the ones who were a bit geeky, maybe. And in science, we also have boffins. If somebody calls you a boffin, now that's not an insult. That means you're a bit of a scientist, a science nerd. Because there's another word, a nerd. Okay. Now, nerd can also, people can try to use it as an insult. But again, it's somebody who's intellectual. Yeah? It can also mean that you're a little bit socially inept. Okay? But the general term is applied to people who are quite well-read, well-educated. Now, why would you insult people for being well-educated? It's a British thing. It's an American thing. The people who are well-educated are not necessarily highly revered in British society. I don't know if you're aware of that. We tend to play down our qualifications, for example, and our learning, and how intelligent we are in the UK, because people, too clever for your own good, so sharp you'll cut yourself. We have lots of insults for clever people. Are you surprised at that? Interesting, yeah? Surprising? You didn't get me. Okay. No, please come again. Please say again. I would just say again. If you want to use that kind of informal expression, say again.
Please say again.
Yeah, you don't even need to, with say again, you don't need to say please, because it's like a bit sort of idiot. It's a bit slangy. Yeah. Say again. What? Say again. What? In fact, posh people say what? I say pardon because I was brought up to be polite, but a lot of people, posh people, will just say what? Or what did you just say?
No, I'm not going to say that.
But believe, honestly, pardon is polite, but posh people say what? What? You can
That is kind of insulting, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a posh term. What? But I still say pardon because my mother brought me up to say pardon. Don't say what, say pardon.
Okay, and I normally say sorry. I didn't get you. Can you
That's a good
please
one. Yes,
repeat
yes,
it?
that's very good. I did get that. I did get that. Could you repeat that? Now there is a difference between could you repeat that and could you explain.
Yes,
Yeah.
there is a difference. You're right.
If you
Repeat that
say
means say.
absolutely, if
Sorry.
you say could you explain, could you repeat that? I could just say the same thing and you still wouldn't understand, and you'd probably pretend you understood because you get embarrassed about asking for explanations. As learners, I do the same. I pretend I've understood something and truly I haven't, but I think, oh, I'll check later on Google Translate.
Mhm.
Oh, hang
But
on.
here,
Hang on.
I just meant to say that. Could you please repeat that? I
Okay.
don't want you to explain it because I didn't hear you.
Okay, because I was explaining that we have these strange sayings: geek, nerd, four eyes, teacher's pet, yeah, four eyes for people who wear glasses, SWAT for people who study, geek, nerd, anorak,
Four
boffin.
eyes.
These terms are sort of insults because in the UK we don't really like or trust clever people.
And why so?
I don't know, it's a cultural thing.
So don't you?
Depends on the person. I mean, I know some clever people who are so socially inept. It would be very difficult to actually like them.
I mean, there is a difference between a clever and a cunning one, right?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. But I admire learned people. Okay.
Okay.
I don't like. I still react badly if people go on about how clever they are. And that is my British side coming out. If it is, if somebody says, "Oh, I am the professor of blah blah, and I went to this blah blah university, and I've got 70 PhDs," I'm like, "Oh dear, give me a break, get a life." But that's my British side. It's how we go through our education system. It's weird, but it's very useful to know that if you go to the UK and you find people who are PhDs and don't use their title, they don't use doctor because they don't want people to know they've got a PhD. Whereas in other cultures, it's absolutely something you are proud of. You say, "Oh yes, I'm Dr. So and so. I studied at such and such. I've got 10 PhDs." But we have these terms that mock almost. Yeah, could you explain? Could you elaborate? Yes. Yep. Could you elaborate would mean could you give more information? Could you explain is more, could you just rephrase what you just said? Okay. To elaborate on something means to build on it, add more words to it, which can be more confusing. But take my word for it, okay? In the UK, clever people can be mocked. And we have certain sayings that, reflect that. Brexit was a very good case in point. A lot of people were shocked by the result of the Brexit vote. But you'll find in many pro-Brexit places where people wanted to leave, they were calling the people who were saying this will be a disaster for the economy, this will make poorer people poorer, this will, but people called them so-called experts. Not experts, but so-called experts, as in don't believe them. Maybe it's a backlash on previous societies where intelligent people were in power and people who were uneducated were mocked. So maybe it's a swing around. Mocked. If I go, if I mock you, let me think. I'd have to do it in a very mocking way, in a mocking voice. I'd go, "Ooh, look at you, playing Vikings. Get a life." Or people in Second Life who say, "Oh yeah, I'm in Second Life." Oh my God, Second Life? Why don't you get a First Life first? That's mocking, okay? Poking fun at, being nasty in a way, okay?
Okay, but we usually use like, for example, it's a mock test sort of stuff, right?
Oh yeah, a mock as an adjective is different than to mock.
Okay.
To mock someone is a verb. A mock exam, that's just fake. That's a practice, yeah, practice test. Okay.
And the other mock is, I didn't get it. I mean, to actually point out someone.
Yeah, to mock someone is to point at them and say nasty things about them. That's meant to make other people laugh. Okay. I mock you.
Okay, means making fun of sort of stuff, right?
To make fun of, to poke fun at somebody. To their face, though, yeah?
Okay, so
Yes.
not at the back, but in front of them, right?
Yeah, yeah. Right to their face.
That's wonderful. Playing Viking, right?
Exactly. I mean, you open yourself to mockery. So, mockery. It's a very low form of humour, but it's teasing and it's nasty. Teasing can be fun if you tease somebody a little bit. I tease my husband sometimes, and then he teases me as well. Mocking's the nastier side. It's more vicious. It's more cruel. Okay. Now you can also have a mock handbag. Yeah, a fake. A mock. Let me think. A mock. Oh, a mock designer. That's what I was looking for. A designer handbag. That means a copy, a fake. So it's an interesting word, mock. But again, quite often in English, the verb and the noun don't always have any relationship to each other. Okay.
But a mock designer handbag, right?
Yeah.
It is from the same designer. Like in this era, we have like different replicas, right? Different copies. We usually say it, right? So is it the same thing or
It's a fake.
the different one?
Fake.
But mock is not fake, or is it fake?
A mock designer handbag is a fake designer handbag.
So it is the same as a replica, right?
Yes. Yeah. A replica isn't necessarily a fake. For example, Chanel could make a replica of an old handbag they once created. That would be a replica. But a mock one, a fake one, that's probably illegal.
Okay, so you mean to say that replica can be legal?
Yes.
You mean to say that, for example, if I'm talking to the Chanel, right?
Yeah.
They're making a handbag, right?
Yeah.
And they are like making the same handbag as a replica.
Yes.
Why would they do it?
Oh, because people like the older style, so they make a replica of it. They update it a bit, but it would be a replica of a 1920s
Like here, like in our society, replica is used in different terms. Let's say we have a tag war watch, right? So wristwatch. So we have like different replicas around here, but that replica is actually the fake one. It's not made by the country, by the company.
Yeah, fake is intended to deceive. Yeah.
Hmm.
It's a huge topic at the moment because in the UK we have got these fakes for sale. Okay. A replica, that would be somebody who isn't trying to deceive you. Um, for example, if I made a replica Chanel handbag, as long as I didn't try to make out it was a Chanel, it would be more of a replica. Inspired by Chanel, maybe. But a fake one, I'd have Chanel all over it and I'd be trying to sell it you as a Chanel. Okay? But people will misuse the term. They'll say, oh, yes, it's a replica Chanel. And they've actually stolen the logo, they've stolen the whole style. But it's not copyrighted. You can't copyright a bag. So as long as you don't use the logo, it's a replica. If you use the logo, it's a fake. Does that make more sense? Yeah, fake for sale, absolutely. It's very difficult to spot the real from the fake, but and it is a huge problem in the UK. There's a lot of fakes. There's fake everything: fake drugs, fake cigarettes, fake clothing, fake handbags, fake people. Is it easy to sell? Well, yeah, you go to a market stall and you start selling. If you get caught, the goods are confiscated, destroyed, and you're prosecuted and maybe imprisoned. But you can find so many fakes on the internet. Yeah, it's terrible. Personally, I'm an original. I'm not a fake. Although I did find a fake Learn English Network website today. There was a fake Learn English Network group in Google. Don't know why they chose the name the Learn English Network. It's so specific to me, but they did. So there you go. It's a fake. Okay, let's get back on track. So we're in the lobby of the apartment building. We've got Howard, Rice, Sheldon, and Leonard, and they're in combat gear. Now, do you know what I mean by combat gear? Ali, you should answer this one. What's combat gear?
I think if I'm not wrong, right, you are talking about the Viking one.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Like a fighting gear,
Yes.
a fighting tool, right?
Yeah. Fighting gear.
The
The
tool.
clothing especially. Okay, gear is another word for clothing. It can be used for clothing. It's another word with multiple meaning, but with the word combat in front, combat gear. Can you imagine what kind of pattern combat gear might have? I'll share you. I'll share with you a picture. Okay. This is typical what I think about combat gear, the pattern that combat gear would have, and it's what we call camouflage. It's the sort of thing you might see army soldiers wearing. Not so much the Navy or the RAF or the Air Force, but the Army. They often have this combat gear, this clothing that's got this special camouflage pattern. Yeah? Can you hear me now? Am I breaking up? Yeah, it can be an army vest, trousers, the lot of shoes, boots, socks. Basically, they're dressed as like soldiers, but of course they're commando. Yeah, commando clothing. Commando. Now, be careful. To go commando means something different. Now, it's a shame April's not here because she'd be killing herself laughing now. We did this in a previous session where we were looking at Friends, an episode of Friends. Do you know what to go commando means? Shiny, Vinay? Any idea? If I said to you, oh, I'm going commando. It's not likely, by the way. I like my comfort. Any idea, Shiny, Vinay? Nope, not to go to a place. Oh, well, you might go commando and go to a place, going commando, but no. Vinay, any idea? Not to go. Oh, Vinay's crashed. Okay, I thought he was a bit quiet. Okay, to go commando means to not wear underpants. So you're dressed, you've got your clothes on, but you're wearing your clothes with no underpants. And that's to go commando. No underpants, no underwear. You might, I guess if you're a girl, you might wear a bra, but no knickers. That means to go commando. I know, it's a weird, don't ask me why. Maybe commandos didn't wear knickers in the past. I have no idea. But there's a very famous Friends episode where Joey goes commando. I'll see if I can find it on YouTube and you can watch it. Yeah, here we go. I will post it into the forum later. Okay. Anyway, that's what it means. So when they enter in combat gear, and it says they're covered in blue paint. Well, everybody who's been to my sessions for long enough would know because, yeah, we cover this sort of stuff. It's important. You need to know this. People use this as and they don't have it in English learning books. Okay, but they're covered in blue paint. Any idea why? Why would they be covered in blue paint? Paintballing. Yes, they've been paintballing. To go paintballing. Oh, to go commando. You'll see it in the video. Yeah. I'll share the video in the forum, and then you'll see it in use in a sentence. I wouldn't use it in a sentence because I don't go commando. It tends to be a bit of a blokey thing, to be honest. I guess because it's a military term, maybe. It is a blokey thing, but anyway. So they've been paintballing. Okay, so let's see. And I don't go. Yeah, you can't really say that unless you also got your clothes on. Otherwise, you're just naked. You have to have the outer clothes on, and then without your underwear on, you're commando. Okay. So I guess maybe Scotsmen go commando. Scotsmen wearing a kilt. You could say they are commando because they tend not to wear underwear. Okay. Okay, let's skip that one now, quick. So we'll do Raj, Howard, and Leonard, and I'll take Sheldon as well. Okay, so Shiny, if you could be Raj, Ali, if you be Howard. Actually, I'll be Howard, and Ali, if you be Leonard. Okay. So Shiny, Raj. Ali, Leonard. No, you're Leonard. I'm Howard. I'm and Lynn, Howard, and Sheldon. We've lost Vinay, so never mind. Okay. Shiny, you begin.
Uh,
Have you got the note card, Shiny?
yes.
Okay, good. Well done.
Okay, if no one else will say it, I will. We really suck at paintball.
That was absolutely humiliating.
Oh, come on. Some battles you win, some battles you lose.
Yes, but you don't have to lose to Kyle Bernstein's bar mitzvah party.
I think we have to acknowledge those were some fairly savage pre-adolescents.
You know, we were annihilated by our own incompetence and the ability of some people to follow the chain of command.
Sheldon, let it go.
No, I want to talk about the fact that Wolowitz shot me in the back. I shot you for good reason. You were leading us into disaster. I was giving clear, concise orders.
To hide behind a tree. Get the kid in the yard.
Good. Okay, Shiny, you come in and you can be Penny as well if you don't mind taking two parts. So Shiny, you be Penny too, okay?
Oh, hey guys.
Hello, Penny.
Morning, Mom.
Paintball, did you have fun?
Sure. If you consider being fragged by your own troops fun. You, clear space on your calendar. There will be an inquiry.
Okay, oh hey, I'm having a party on Saturday, so if you guys are around, you should come by.
A party?
A party?
Shiny, your bit?
Yeah. Yeah?
A boy-girl party?
Well, there will be boys and there will be girls, and it is a party. So it'll just be a bunch of my friends. We'll have some beer, do a little dancing.
Dancing?
Yeah, I don't know, Penny.
The thing is, we're not...
We are really more.
No.
But then,
Are you sure? Come on, it's Halloween.
A Halloween party? As in costumes?
Well, yeah.
Is there a theme?
Halloween.
Yes, but are the costumes random or genre specific?
As usual, I'm not following.
Asking if we can come as one from science fiction, fantasy.
Sure.
What about comic books?
Fine.
Anima?
Of course.
TV, films, D&D, manga, Greek gods, Roman gods, Norse gods?
Anything you want, okay? Any costume you want, buy.
Gentlemen, to the sewing machines! Okay, so now that's a very nerdy, geeky conversation at the end. Trying to, as soon as they know it's costumes, they're like, "Oh yeah, we could dress up." So, any questions? Does everybody? Do you understand all the terms that they use there? Especially this like TV, film, D&D, manga, Greek gods, Roman gods, Norse gods. Norse gods, yeah, Vikings.
A lot of terms, right?
Oh, tons.
So,
We actually own we owe the names of the days of the week to the Norse gods. Thursday, yeah. Wednesday. I think that was Odin's day. Friday was Freya Day. I'm not sure how to spell Freya Day, but I think it was like that. Okay, so it's amazing the impact that these had, and a lot of the days, months of the year we owe to the Roman and Greek gods. March, Mars, June, Uni, Juno, is it Juno? I think, yeah. So, any questions? Savage. Okay. When he's talking about the savage pre-adolescence, yes? Savage, well, pre-adolescent, I think that speaks for itself. Somebody who's not hit puberty. So an adolescent, okay, is someone within a certain age range, okay. Teenagers, young person, they're in that process of child to adult. They're an adolescent. Pre-adolescent, they haven't reached that phase of growing yet. So young children, young kids, if you like. Savage, well, that's more uncivilized and can be very violent and fierce. A savage beast, for example. Savages, we tend to use as a derogatory term for undeveloped tribes, etc. But it's a bit un-PC to call people savages now. But it can also mean violent and primitive or brutal. Okay? You can be savaged. Yeah? To be savaged. If you're attacked by a dog and badly injured, then we might say he was savaged by the dog. It implies very, very serious injuries. Okay? But a savage, in this case, young kids, and they're saying, oh, they were so violent, they were so scary. Wolowitz is a person. Yes, Howard Wolowitz is his full name. So Howard is his first name, and Wolowitz is his surname. Yeah, Yarmulke. Well, Howard Wolowitz is actually Jewish, and of course Bar Mitzvah is a Jewish celebration, and a yarmulke is, I believe, the little hat they wear. Am I right? Yeah, it's that little hat that little cap you wear on the back of your head if you're Jewish. It's called a yarmulke. Okay, who knew that? So these kids were obviously at a bar mitzvah party, wearing their little yarmulkes, and they thrashed, they savaged this grown-up group of scientists. And it's awful being beaten by kids. It's terrible. It's humiliating. But you better get used to it, Ali, if you're going to play in Vikings. Quite often, I think, we're playing against savage pre-adolescents who should be at school. Oh, dear. I know you do. You're going to be a Vikings expert. Shiny, I can see you typing. What do you want to say? Take the mic. Okay, I was checking who goes commando. Lots of people. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the concept of underwear, it doesn't really apply to some cultures. Some people say it's very healthy for a man to go commando. I wouldn't like to comment on it, but scientific evidence is out there that says it's good. It's not good to, to sort of keep everything tucked away. Let's not go there.
Yes, actually, I was reading one of the article, and it was saying a lot about people should go commando, right? I mean, yeah. I don't know how to use that term.
But it's a nice way of saying it, isn't it?
Seriously,
and they're saying it's good for women
know.
as well. Just let the air flow.
Exactly. Seriously, I mean, I don't know. But when women or the other people come to know, they're saying, "Oh, shut your mouth! What the hell are you talking?" and blah blah blah. I mean, this is the real fact, the mere fact, and they don't understand. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's the way it is. I mean, it's just words. They have meanings. I know. We've got a rule on the forum. Adult content, no. Swearing, no. But these terms are out there in the world. People use them. It's as well to know what they mean. You don't have to use them though. And honestly, going commando is a very, very nice way of saying not wearing your underpants. Yeah, lots of people say, and women and men, but the jury's out, because some people say it is good and other people say no, it's unhealthy, it's unhygienic. The thing is to just be clean, I guess. Is it better to wear underwear or not? Well, I don't know. But there are lots of websites that will discuss it with you. And now you know what it means if somebody says, oh, you should go commando. Anyway, do you know what? We had a long conversation about this in the first session. I think it was on Pal Talk. We were doing drama, but not in World. We didn't have I don't think we had a sim then. So we were actually just online reading through the script. And it created great hilarity, and people didn't even know this term existed. People need to know these things. I like to prepare you all for real life.
Actually, for instance, here, if I talk about my society and the people around me, if I'm going to say anyone that you are, for example, how I'm going to say someone that if he's not, or if he's not wearing underwear, right? Am I going to say you are go commando?
Yeah. Are you going commando? Are you commando? But the problem with doing that, Ali, is they might not understand what you meant. They'd think of
Exactly.
yeah. It's about communication. You've got to know not just what the words mean, but if you're going to use them, you need to know when to use them, how to use them.
Okay, but the point is, like here the commando do not wear the undergarments?
Well, I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know any commandos. maybe they're too busy to, you know, if you're if you're in the commandos. No, if you're in the commandos and you get called out to battle, you haven't got time to mess about with your underwear.
No, come on. So they shouldn't wear even pant. Oh my goodness.
We'd have to ask a commando. Is it true that you all go commando? When you're a commando, you have to go commando? I don't know. I honestly don't know. But the phrase has obviously developed. And that's now what the context is not wearing your underwear, especially as a bloke fully clothed. We tend not to use it for women, but it is being used for women because it's a useful term to say not wearing knickers. What about this bit? Now, I think, Shiny, you should remember what it means. What do you mean if you're fragged by your own troops? Being fragged by your own troops. Do you remember what it means? To be fragged? This is also military slang, okay? And it's short for fragmentation grenade. Yeah, killed by your own troops, deliberately killed by your own troops, okay? So, fragmentation grenade, fragged, and it was the killing of the senior officer by throwing a hand grenade at them and pretending it was an accident, okay? He got fragged. Means he was basically murdered by his own company of soldiers. Annihilated, yes. In this context it means, yeah, I was betrayed, I was killed in paintball. Yeah, nice and harmless kind of pastime. In paintball, I was killed, annihilated by my own troops. I was fragged, okay? It's a very American term, but it is also used in English. In British English, and yeah, it means to be killed deliberately by the people who should be supporting you. Okay, now when Penny says this is her invitation, okay? I'm having a party on Saturday, so if you guys are around, you should come by. Okay? So what kind of invitation is that? How would you describe that? Would you receive that invitation, do you think? In your culture, would somebody invite you to something like that?
Nope. For Halloween? Nope.
Well, not just for Halloween, for anything. Oh, I'm having a party on Saturday. You should come by.
No, it doesn't happen. We do not arrange that kind of parties.
No.
Yes,
Well,
but for dinner, like for example, not happen, but when relatives it happened that we have a dinner for you on Saturday. Let's join us.
that's
Not a
much
party,
more
sort of.
direct and much more informal. Okay, you could also,
Yes.
yeah. This is so informal. It's almost like I wasn't going to invite you, but I've met you, and now I'm thinking about inviting you because I've just met you. It's like saying we're having friends around on Saturday, so if you're around, you should come by. It's not a really formal or friendly invitation. It's more oh, I should invite you. You're my neighbours, and that way, if we're noisy, you won't phone the police. But it's very informal. Shiny, would you invite somebody round to your house like that?
In fact, in Japan, you have to, if you really want to invite someone come to your house, you have to schedule their, you have to ask their schedule a few weeks ago. It's very
a few weeks in
helpful.
advance. A few weeks in advance. Yeah.
They don't like you to ask them just a week ago, before a week.
A week before.
Yeah, if you
Or the week
you
before.
probably thank you. If you ask them like that, I'm sure you won't have any guests.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a little bit like that in Germany. People prefer to have advanced warning, and they prefer a more formal invitation. It's becoming a bit less formal than when I first came here because of the internet. You might get an invitation, but I went out for a meal with friends on Saturday, and they booked it with me. They asked me if I'd like to go about 6 weeks ago. Okay, 6 weeks before the actual meal out. And that's, again, the way it's done in Germany, much more in advance. Now, in the UK, yes, we might, if we know we're going to have a Christmas party or a Halloween party, we would be planning it and inviting people. But we would also then do exactly as Penny's done here. You didn't invite your neighbours, but you meet them and you realise, oh, I forgot to invite them. And you just invite them. Just, tonight, I'm having a party tonight. Do you want to come? Yeah, if you're not doing anything tonight, come to my party. Not formal, very informal, very different, I think, to some cultures. I love it. I love it. It drives me nuts having to book things 6 weeks in advance, and I end up getting the wrong date, and I end up being there a month before I should be. But that's a different story. What about in your culture, Ali? Do you normally have things very planned, booked, invitations sent out formally?
Not exactly. Like as far as the wedding is concerned, it is some sort of formal. But apart from other things, they are not formal. Even if I talk about the wedding, it doesn't matter. Like if I'm getting the invitation a day or two early, right? Normally we get invitation maybe a couple of days ago, the actual event. So it is pretty fine. We are like so flexible, smooth going.
Easy going, easy going.
Yeah,
Smooth,
yeah.
smooth go. If something goes smoothly, it means an event goes smoothly. It means there were no problems in the event. Easy going just means relaxed, informal.
Okay.
Okay.
So so most of the people are easygoing here,
Okay, good. I think
and
I'd fit in then.
that is the reason that most of the things go smooth,
Go
and that's what that
smoothly.
go smoothly.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'm going to give you a little bit of a challenge this week. Shiny, you're used to this, but for next week, for next Tuesday, we're going to do some invitations and inviting people to things, but I'd like you to actually create an invitation. Now, there's a very good website called Post to My Wall. Okay. And they have lovely templates, but there are other websites out there. It's all free. Okay, you do need to have an account, but it's free. And then you can design an event and an invitation for any event. You can make it a Halloween party if you want it that as a theme, but for any event, your wedding, your birthday, doesn't matter. And I want you to create a nice, fun-looking invitation that will make people want to come to your party. Okay? So if you don't want to use post to my wall, you can just Google create invitations, and I would add the word free. Okay, there's Invitation Maker from Adobe Spark. That's the first one I came across. Okay, so just any free software you can find, but make it visual. And then what you can do, Ali, you might not have done this before. You can, if you create a JPEG or a PNG file, you can upload it into Kitely for free. Okay, I'll show you in the stream. I think we're still streaming. Yes, we are. So you would go to Build, Upload, Image, and then find the image wherever you saved it on your computer, and then open it, and then upload it. Okay, and then it will appear in your inventory, and then you'll be able to share it with me next week. Okay, and I'll create one too. I'll create one for a Halloween party, but as I say, you don't have to. You can use any event. Now, of course, there are events you wouldn't send an invitation out to, like that. Funerals, for example. You would invite people to a funeral, you would tell them about the death and tell them when it, but you wouldn't create a fun-looking invitation to, you're could you invited to my funeral? No. Am I going to go to Pakistan? Oh, I have no idea where I'm going to go in my life. Maybe, you never know. Never say never, I say. But I have no plans at the moment.
Create an invitation, right? So here, if I'm going to create an invitation, the invitation is going to be for you only, right? So if I'm going to invite you, since it's a formal invitation, I would be expecting that you should come here and attend that party, right?
Well, you can add this to your invitation, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what that means? If you write RSVP on an invitation, any ideas?
I mean, like prior to the event, you are informing that you will attend or not, right?
That's right. Do you know where it comes from?
No, I don't know.
It's actually from the French, because it's Répondez s'il vous plaît. But we write RSVP. It doesn't translate into English at all, but it's from the French Répondez s'il vous plaît, which means respond please. And it means, yes, you say whether you are coming or not. So next week
now let me tell you. Again, one insight, right? I don't know what usually happen in UK. For example, if you get an invitation card and there is written, let's say RSVP, right? Mm-hmm. Do you respond on that invitation actually?
Absolutely. It would be very rude not to.
Okay, now here in Pakistan,
but it doesn't imply that it doesn't imply you'll say yes. You'll also respond if you're not going. Okay.
Okay. But here in Pakistan, right? Mm-hmm. Nobody, not even a single person, actually respond to that thing.
How do you know how many people are coming then?
It's all about the. That's why I said we are easygoing people.
Absolutely, but I wouldn't know how many to cook for. I wouldn't know how many people to cater for.
Like for example, there is just an imagination. Let's say I have given an invitation to around, let's say 800 people, right? 1,000 people, and I know that almost 400 people are going up, right? So what actually we usually do that we cook for 500, right? 100 extra.
Okay. That's very practical. Very practical.
It worked fine. Absolutely fine.
Okay. Oh, we're a little bit more formal than that. We're not formal in when we send the invitation, or depending on the occasion. Of course, as you said, for weddings and marriages, we tend to be a little bit more well planned in advance. But for parties, for dinner parties, you could expect something to turn up on Friday for Saturday, that kind of thing. And just dropping round isn't unheard of as well. Yeah, phoning up and saying, "Oh, are you doing anything tomorrow?" "No." "Oh, let's have a dinner. Let's have dinner. Let's do dinner." That kind of informal thing. But yes, for if it says RSVP, if you look at Dubrett's the absolute guide and authority on etiquette in the UK, it would be very bad form not to respond, not to say whether you're coming or not. And sometimes invitations have a little RSVP, yes, I'm coming, I'm bringing one guest or whatever, and you just cut it out and send send that back. That's a little bit too organised for me. Okay, Ali, yes.
Like for instance, if I got an invitation, right, and there is written RSVP, right, and as per the formality and as per the written stuff, I have to respond to that card, right, that invitation. And for instance, I just make a call to that person written on the card, right. So when I speak to the person, right, that hello, and you have this event, what actually he's going to say, yes, okay, I'm going to come. What he's going to say, so so I mean here, if I'm going to respond that invitation, it looks somewhat like awkward or weird, right? It's not like what we call it. I'm not getting the word. It does not seem good, right? Seems good. That
Okay,
if I'm
yeah, makes you. Well, I'm glad you told me. If I ever get an invitation, I'll just decide whether I'm coming or not, and I won't tell anybody.
but again, it's here in Pakistan.
It's really interesting. Yeah, it's really interesting. Really, I mean, to be honest, in that case, if I was holding a party in Pakistan, I wouldn't bother putting RSVP on the invitation.
Yes, it really doesn't matter. And normally
Exactly. Why
people
bother? Save the ink.
yes.
Okay, well, look, I will have to disappear now, but thanks a lot for coming. I hope you enjoyed it and you've learned something. And as I say, next week I'll look forward to seeing your invitations. I'll remind you on the forum, don't worry. And I'll put a couple of links up that you can use. And I'll also share with you the video with the Commando episode from Friends. Okay, although you can easily find it on YouTube yourself. Just Joey Goes Commando. That's all you need. Always have safe search on for that kind of thing, though, really. You're welcome, Shiny. Thank you. Bye, Ali. Bye, Shiny. Take care.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye. Take care.
Bye-bye. You're welcome. There are lots of clips on YouTube, and I do recommend it because it's highly amusing. Okay. So the real Big Bang Theory is the idea that the universe began. It all started with a big bang, so to speak. So as a scientific theory, then yes, we have the Big Bang Theory, which is the earliest time that we've been able to identify of the universe we're living in. Okay, you could read about the Big Bang, of course, on Wikipedia, but for the uninitiated amongst you, the Big Bang Theory TV show is also on Wikipedia. And if you've never seen it, you've got such a treat in store, because I think there are 11 seasons. We're on season 11 now, I think. 11 or 12, I can't remember. And you can watch them all. Okay, so this little drama is an extract from The Big Bang Theory, and the characters are all scientists, apart from the character called Penny, who's a very attractive young lady who's moved into the apartment block. Okay, so Howard, Raj, Sheldon and Leonard are scientists. They're geeks. Even they would agree that they are geeks. Okay, you know what I mean by geek. a geek. You can't hear everyone. No, we're not speaking at the moment. Can you hear me now? Oh, you can't hear me. Okay. Ah, so can you hear me now?
Yep.
Hi. Okay, good. Vinay, can you hear us? Can we hear you?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Have you got the notes card?
Sorry?
Okay, no. You just answered me. I'll send it to you, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so this is the note card of the text we're going to be reading from. And it's an extract from one of my favourite TV programmes, The Big Bang Theory. I sort of modified it a little bit. And the scene is set in the lobby. Now, we talked about lobby, hallway, everything, corridor last week. So if you want to catch up on that vocabulary, have a look on the YouTube channel. You'll find it under ESL Drama from last week. I think it's live. But anyway, we're actually in the lobby now of the apartment building here. Okay? So that's where we're going to set our little drama. Now, we've got 5 characters, so we'll have to double up a bit. Okay? There's 4 of us. April can't come. She's babysitting her grandchild again. So I think it's quite difficult for her to be in world and do it. It's okay sitting just doing a session like Google Hangouts, but where it requires both hands to move around, etc., it's a little difficult. Okay. Now, do you all know the Big Bang Theory? Do you know the characters?
At least I don't.
Ah, welcome. Oh, okay. What about you, Ali? Have you heard of the Big Bang Theory?
That's what I said. I mean, it was not Vinay. It was I.
Oh, sorry.
I said that.
Vinay,
It's
what
okay.
about you? Have you heard of it though? You've never heard of it, or?
What about the Big Bang Theory?
Yeah, the TV series.
Yeah, I have heard about the Big Bang Theory. It's I think, the origin of universe, related to origin of universe.
It's basically a comedy, an American comedy.
Oh, well, I heard about,
You
I
know
heard about the
real
name,
one.
but no.
No, that's absolutely fine, Vinay. Okay, so there is something called the Big Bang Theory, and if you're a physicist, then your brain automatically thinks about the scientific Big Bang Theory. The way, how the universe began, okay? But something has replaced the Big Bang Theory in people's minds, especially in the West, in the UK and in America, and it's a TV series, which seems a bit wrong somehow. But anyway, it's a TV series about a group of scientists. It's very funny. If you've never watched it, there's lots of clips.
Like, if I talk about my own culture, right?
Yes, yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Yes, for marriages, for what else? For conferences, for birthday parties,
Yeah.
and for dinner, right? For family dinner, and there are a lot more
Sorry,
other things as well, right?
I didn't catch that. Family
Yes, family dinners.
dinners, yes, to dinners. Sort of formal dinners, yeah. I mean, I don't send an invitation to my husband for dinner. I just go,
not your husband.
dinner's ready.
You can't even do that if there is something wrong.
That would be quite good fun, wouldn't it? You have been cordially invited dinner.
Like you can do it, like giving that and uh, like being sarcastic. You can do it. Like
You can do,
hello,
yes.
oh, I don't know what this is saying, but you can say it like oh, like dinner is ready. You are invited, and like that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, that would be probably best not to. Okay. Hi Vinay. How are you? Have you got voice? Can you hear us? Can we hear you? Yeah. That's what happens, I'm afraid. So, hello, welcome to ESL Drama, and here we are with Ali and a very strange looking shiny, but it's perfect for Halloween. Okay, so guys, if you're going to change outfits, the best thing to do is to do them before a session, way before a session, if you've got a bad connection. I mean, really, it's not going to work otherwise, but that's life, okay? Um, it will take your avatar a long time to re-res for everyone else, but that's life. At least you're a furry now, shiny, so it's not as dangerous as when you're in your birthday suit. Oh, it looks as if Vinay's joining us, so let me just send Vinay a teleport. Okay, we'll wait for him. Now, next week is Halloween, of course, and so this week we're going to be doing a little role play, which is based on a Friends episode about a Halloween party and being invited, because of course it's not Halloween yet, but people will be planning their parties and sending out invitations. Okay, so to invite someone or to send someone an invitation. Okay, let's warm up a little bit. Shiny, you're probably okay because you were in the session earlier, but it's always a good idea just to get your brain into English mode. So Ali, what kind of things do you think we invite people to? When do we send invitations? Halloween parties, that's one. What other things do you think?